And yes, you can. Our host, welcome to the Energy Independent Show, where we cover product reviews, interviews, and hot news. According to scientificamerican.com, blackouts have triggered an energy storage boom in California. The threat of chronic blackouts is sparking a rush to install battery backup systems as California homeowners try to avoid disruptive power cuts related to wildfires. Blackouts are increasingly a part of life as Pacific Gas and Electric Company strives to avoid igniting deadly blazes with aging equipment. At fault for some of the state's worst wildfires, the utility shut off power 9 times between June and October last year in Northern California. Some blackouts lasted 4 days, and at least one affected more than 1 million people. The utility plans to use shutoffs for years as it upgrades its system. It's pledged to reduce their scope and restore power more quickly. The dread of dealing with power blackouts is worsened by the coronavirus pandemic. It's the new norm. They say the pandemic, but so are planned safety public shutoffs. According to greentechmedia.com, enormous step for energy storage as courts uphold FERC Order 841 opening wholesale markets. Friday's court opinion declared that FERC has jurisdiction over how energy storage interacts with the interstate transmission markets it regulates, even if those systems are interconnected to the grid under regulations set by the states. The court also rejected arguments by utility groups and state utility regulators seeking to opt out of allowing energy storage resources, ESRs, to participate under Order 841, which allows for units as small as 100 kilowatts to access wholesale markets. This is an enormous step for energy storage, with the affirmation that energy storage connected at the distribution level must have the option to access wholesale markets, allowing homes and businesses to contribute to the resiliency, efficiency, sustainability, and affordability of the grid. Kelly Speaks Backman says, Chief Executive Officer of the Energy Storage Association, in an email. According to mobilesyrup.com, the average cost of charging an EV in Canada is only $277 per year, Canadian dollars. In a new report from USwitch says that the average cost of charging an electric vehicle in Canada is around $277.19 Canadian dollars per year. USwitch's team looked at the average price per kilowatt hour in 50 different states, the average mileage per driver, and the average miles EVs get on a full charge to determine this statistic. According to wealthy investors, growing demand for sustainability suggests new investment trend. Despite the wider economic downturn this year, sustainable investments have managed to weather the storm reasonably well. According to the report, investors who implemented ESG equity investment strategies in 2020 beat broader benchmarks. Meanwhile, Morningstar found 70% of sustainable equity funds recorded returns in the top halves of their broad-based peer group in the first 3 months of the year. According to EEnews.net, renewable-powered oil projects jumped 200%. In April, a new 120-turbine wind farm started generating electricity in the flat country about 50 miles south of Lubbock, Texas. The Sage Draw wind farm, which straddles Lynn and Garza counties, can power 120,000 typical American homes, but most of the electricity won't go to the surrounding farms and towns. Instead, the biggest customer will be ExxonMobil Corporation, which will use the power to run its pumps and other equipment in the Permian Basin oil field. According to a news release this year from Ørsted, the Danish company that developed the project. Their motivation is to benefit from the reduction in greenhouse gas emissions, said Judson Jacobs, IHS's markets managing director of upstream operations. But for them, it makes a lot of business sense as well. Oil companies often use diesel or natural gas-fired generators to power their operations in remote areas, but they've discovered that renewable power is a lot more reliable, Jacobs said. And that's it for Hot Energy News. The revolution is here. Thank you for joining us. Feel free to like, comment, share, and follow, and we will see you soon.